It's like back to speed skating. I've not been this nervous about a competition since I was skating.
Boston might have seemed like a very recent goal, but everything started long before last Monday.
Som liten så var Christian alltid veldig aktiv, full av energi.
Ivrig, snill, en ordentlig gladgutt vil jeg si. Christian var.
Hi.
What's happening?
I'm packing from Boston.
Describing Christian. Very passionate and can be very obsessive, but in a good way. And very loving, lots of love, and just very high energy, but also has kind of a childlike look on life that just, yeah, makes it exciting and makes it really fun. Makes it quite the adventure. And you never know what you're gonna get next. What are you up to? Having one last breakfast at home?
Watching the Swedish version of Paradise Hotel. Having breakfast before I'm gonna have a gym session.
My dad was like my biggest idol. I wanted to do everything that my dad did. I was looking up to him. I started doing the things that he did. I joined him for workouts. We were the best team. Number one team in my opinion, and I feel like every project that I had, he was a part of. A lot of people have asked me if having a dad who was a two-time or is a two-time Olympian has made me feel the pressure. I don't think I've ever felt the pressure of having him as having him as a dad and him having done and achieved what he did. But obviously, like, I'm sure my dreams were influenced by what he did, and I really wanted to do some of the same things.
Når et barn blir født, så drømmer jo kanskje en far om å få lov til å være forbilde, og det har jeg jo gjort, og jeg har satt pris på det. Samtidig så har det vært en belastning for meg også, fordi at jeg føler at Christian har kanskje satt meg så mye høyere da, enn hva som er riktig. Jeg har blitt for stort forbilde mange ganger for han, føler jeg, og det er jo en utrolig fin ting, og så samtidig så skulle jeg ønske noen ganger at jeg ikke har vært så stort forbilde også. Men så har det gjort at vi bare har fått så mange fantastiske opplevelser sammen.
Here he comes, Boston Marathon qualifier.
Here I am.
How are you feeling?
Good. Boston is my victory. Feeling good. Or actually, I'm nervous already. I think. I don't know if that's a good thing. But, no, it's still nine more days. But at least now we're on our way. You have to kind of come with me because you're joining me on the trip. So.
Oh, where are we?
Bus stop.
Christian worries all the time, even when he thinks he isn't. He is.
Hva synes du om turen da, Christian? Så tenkte mye den gutten. Var jo en grubler og redd for fulle folk. Noen gang så litt spøkelser på høylys dag. Bekymret seg for litt ting. Full av følelser. Da står vi i ferjekøa.
I guess I was like more anxious than a lot of kids, but who knows, like, it's hard to tell whether it's normal or not when you're that young, like before you even start school. But then I started elementary school.
Når Christian skulle begynne på barneskolen, så var det litt utfordrende. Han tok nok litt plass, og han var veldig ivrig. Alt handler om at han var veldig ivrig og full av energi. Så barneskolen ble en tøff tid for Christian. Han var så viljesterk og hadde så lyst til å få til ting, og da dundret han på. Det er ikke alltid at det blir så godt mottatt, kanskje av de andre. Men så hadde han jo sine utfordringer også, da. Det her at han begynte å bli redd ting. På et tidspunkt det startet første var kanskje det her at han ble redd for folk som hadde drukket, fulle folk. Og så ble han redd for å reise, redd for å fly spesielt.
It's hard when you're in a system where you don't really feel like you belong, you don't fit in, and you don't feel like anybody sees you for who you are. I remember feeling so confident at home with my parents. They made me feel good about myself. They saw the good parts and sides of me. And being in school and never really feeling like I was good enough was really hard. I think that parts of like those experiences have been with me ever since.
Leaving Norway, wearing the Boston jacket, like a little kid after Christmas, putting on his gear.
Hoping to get attention when we get towards Boston.
Obviously. But also, I'm gonna take full advantage of this opportunity to be like, oh, he's a Boston marathoner.
Og det toppet seg på slutten av barneskolen. Da på 6.-7. Når en av lærerne sender brev og lurer på om ikke vi bør ta med oss til utredning for ADHD. Jeg vet ikke om Kristian har ADHD, eller om jeg har det, eller om Sigrun har det. Det gjør ikke jeg. Men det var jo aldri noe problem for Kristian å være fokusert på de tingene han ønsket, og han lærte jo veldig raskt. Så når vi fikk det her brevet, så måtte vi ta noe grep. Kristian og jeg husker på at jeg satt der, og så tegnet jeg opp hjernen. Og så sier jeg, Kristian, du må vite at du har noen egenskaper som ikke skolen, de fleste skoler verdsetter. Det kan hende du må vente til du er 20 år for å få glede av det. Selvfølgelig var det hardt for en 11-12-åring å høre de ordene, men Takk, pappa. Det var sterkt. Vi fant ut at vi måtte få ut energien enda mer for at det skulle funke på skolen. Så vi begynte å stå opp klokka, det her var da når han var 11-12 år, stå opp på morgenen i 6-tida. Og så dro vi og trena i 3 kvarter hver dag for å få ut energien. Og da ble det lettere også å være på skolen. Så på mange måter så Kristian, som har vært opptatt av idrett, så startet han ganske tidlig med å trene 2 ganger om dagen.
So this is where I grew up. This used to be my bedroom. This is where the magic happened, and I'm talking about dreams, nothing else actually. When I was teenager, 2 things on my mind. One was the Olympic dream and the other was girls. We're going into the basement where there's a dog waiting for us. This is where I spent countless hours. I started having workouts at, I don't know, 5, 6 a.m., 6 a.m. maybe, from a very young age. And then we would go down here. Now, I remember that my warm-up would be, I was boxing standing here boxing to some Rocky Balboa music, and then did one leg squats, having workouts like that. And then if you come with me here, in here is where I spent countless hours training. So now it's just a storage room, but it used to be a slide board here, which is a tool that speed skaters use. We're standing here, so like back and forth with some wool socks on the outside of our shoes. Yeah, and it was always me and my dad. We were always down here. I'm sure he spent just as many hours down here with me as I did by myself. So it's pretty special. Like it was, yeah, just us as a team. And I hated those workouts though. They were so hard. That was pain. Pain cave. That's what it is.
It all starts here. Actually, it starts over there. Now we're in Hopkinton.
Doing what?
Start of the Boston Marathon. Obviously, it's not the start yet. It's on Monday. Today is Wednesday.
Of course, he has his jacket already on.
Obviously, I got my first comments on it yesterday, which is nice. It's fun. Also, I don't know what is here, if this is actually what will be Athletes Village, where we're gonna wait for the start, but I'm pretty sure the start line is down here, isn't it? So we actually made it just in time for them making the start line.
You know, you hear, or Christian had been doing a lot of research about it and listening to podcasts and watching things, but it's not that often that you have 500,000 people together all cheering for people at once. It's quite the experience to be a part of, and I'm really glad that his dad could come, especially to see him achieve this goal, because I'm not sure there's going to be a lot else kind of as big as that, at least for running for the first time in Boston.
Someone did it again. So this store kind of also marks mile 20, if we are to believe that sign, and it marks the beginning of Heartbreak Hill, the notorious Heartbreak Hill. Best socks in the world, in my opinion.
Forget your foregone conclusion. Settle in, settle now. Give up your sweet illusion.
Warm up done. Ready to run. 3 times 2K. So 6K in total for those of you who didn't do that math. And going like threshold. So a little bit faster than marathon pace. Not gonna say that this is the indicator for my marathon pace or my targeted marathon pace, but it's still, yeah, no, I wouldn't call it the last test. Doesn't really matter how I'm doing on this one. That's the kind of almost scary part of having those last trainings or workouts before the marathon, that you start overthinking it and start believing that this is an indicator for the race itself. But no, let's go.
Christian har hatt en idrettsglede hele veien. Og det er det jeg har verdsatt. Jeg synes det var artig, og det må jeg bare si, det kjenner jeg på en... Jeg er glad for at jeg har vært en sånn pappa som har kjent på glede over at han slo hjul på banen, fremfor at han var rågod til å skåre mål. Det kan jeg ha på hånda på hjertet si. Og det er nok det at for meg så var Christian bestandig vært sønn. Jeg har vært engasjert i idretten etter hvert, men det var aldri mitt ønske. Men vi hadde mye glede av idretten sammen.
Der kommer han! Oi, gå fort unna. Skyt min del.
Det er fantastiske sykler.
Dere sykler bra.
Ja, fornøyd i hvert fall. Jeg er litt sliten, men Kristian han kunne ha syklet mer siden han viser sitt gang å sykle.
Ja, jeg er bare litt stiv i nakken.
Ja,
Stiv i nakken.
skuldrene her.
That was faster than I thought. 3:48 and 3:39. Huh. Surprising, but I mean, not complaining.
Og så begynner Kristian på videregående etter ungdomsskolen. Og da blusser han opp igjen den her frykten til han. Og det var fælt.
And I remember I was in school for about half a day, and then I lied to the teacher saying that I had to go have an x-ray because I was so anxious. All of a sudden, I started feeling so anxious. I thought I heard sounds in school that just terrified me. Like, I was so sensitive to sounds, and my world was just crumbling. Like, my world was full of anxiety. I did not know what to do. And I think back then that was the time of my life where I've had the most, like, the darkest moments of my life.
I haven't been able to keep this pace at this intensity for a very long time, so it's good news.
Det var ordentlig fælt å være både mamma og pappa og se han Kristian, for det visste så godt på hele ansiktet til han. Han var ikke til stede. Han var sagt at han ville ikke gå på skolen noe mer. Altså liksom, vi pushet ikke så mye på det, men jeg skjønte jo det her nå at vi hadde lyst til at vi skulle fortsette å gå på skolen. Og så er ikke han fokusert denne kvelden. Kommer hjem, og så ser jeg på Kristian, og da er jeg redd, altså. Så da spør jeg Kristian, har du ikke lyst på skolen i morgen? Nei, sier han. Det er ikke at han skriker, jeg bare ser det på han. Det er liksom, jeg er redd for han. Og så sier jeg, men skal du bare slutte på videregående? Jeg er jo førsteåret på videregående. Ja, sier han. Det var ikke et smil, men du skjønner at du tar av gutten 20-30 kilo, eller hva han skal si. Og så slutter jeg på videregående.
Oh. Same pace. Very good. It's nice to do this because now I know that I can have like 30 seconds slower pace per kilometer on Monday, which is pretty nice because shaving off or adding 30 seconds to the kilometer pace that's gonna mean quite a lot in terms of intensities. Fun. Good last hard session before marathon. 2 workouts left before Hopkinton. Yeah.
And then speed skating saved me. I told my dad, make me a training plan, I don't care how much it is, as long as you make me the best skater in the world.
Det gjør jo at vi får Christian mye mer tilbake, som den her livsglade gutten. Da gløder han for skøyter. Og da husker jeg på at vi sitter oppe på stua, og så sier han til meg, og bare har den her som satt der. Pappa, kan du være så snill og sette opp et treningsprogram til meg? Det spiller ingen rolle hvor mye det er, når jeg blir god.
The speed skating project became kind of the biggest project that we've ever had together, and something that would last for more than 10 years after those first days in high school.
Jeg sa til Christian, det er usunt at far skal trene sønn. Jeg har lyst til å være pappaen din. Jeg skjønner hvor lyst du har til det. Jeg vet, jeg har kompetansen. Jeg har satt opp et program på 1 år, og jeg skal være treneren din i maks 2 år.
And then as I started working out, started working towards these goals, my anxiety slowly started disappearing. Like, there was less anxiety, it was harder, like easier to deal with it, and my focus was on something else. And slowly I was turning into the old Christian, like the old me, the boy who was happy, had a lot of energy, spirited, like just high energy, a lot of happiness. Parts of myself that have been gone for so long.
On our way into the chiropractor because my hips are locked. And it's Thursday. Or is it Friday? Thursday. And marathon is on Monday. Affecting my knees. So.
Christian sitt liv handlet mye om skøyter i 10 år. Og jeg synes jo, som pappa, så synes jeg jo at han hadde opplevd veldig mye. Han har fått med seg mye. Prestasjonsmessig så har han vært på et veldig høyt nivå utifra situasjonen til Christian. Det er sånn jeg tenker. Resultatmessig sett så synes også det er bra. Det å gå med Norge på ryggen, hvor mange er det som gjør det? Christian gjorde det, opplevde det som junior. Selv så var han jo ikke fornøyd med skøytesatsingen sin. Han synes jo det var 10 år hvor det har vært veldig mye frem og tilbake. Så vi ser jo litt forskjellig på det. Men Christian la jo ned enorm innsats i de her 10 årene. Han trente jo virkelig igjen som en toppidrettsutøver på et høyt nivå. Og jeg tror jo når han begynte med Boston Marathon-treningen sin, så fikk han igjen for all denne treningen han har holdt på med i 10 år. Og også det mentale.
Made it out. Cracked me open. Hopefully that will just get me through the marathon.
What did he say?
There were some irregularities. Or what was the word that he used?
Yeah.
Some funkiness.
Yeah.
But I think that it's like what he did helped and feel a little bit more mobile in my hips. Actually, a lot, I think.
Cracked back into place.
Yeah. No, that was actually really good. So now I only have like 5 kilometers tomorrow and 5 kilometers on Sunday, and then can't it up too much, mess it up too much on those 2 days, I think. So marathon Monday, we're ready.
So before the marathon adventure, Christian's anxiety was getting at least the worst I had ever seen it. But we were also only a couple years into our relationship, so yeah, it was a lot of new stuff to come our way. And he had also quit skating, which in my head I kind of felt like maybe he was a bit lost also without having kind of sports that has been his identity for his entire life. So when he decided that he was going to start training for marathons, I thought that it was a great idea. And why not? Why not jump into a new sport? And running is something anyone of any age can do and have so many goals. So I thought it would be really good for him and what he was dealing with. And it was kind of night and day.
And in my life after sports, it was like great. I was able to build up my company. I was excelling as a filmmaker and photographer, and for years that was enough. And then I got to this point where my anxiety started returning and I started feeling less and less happy about my business. It wasn't giving me enough, and I kind of felt like something was missing. Something was missing. It started affecting my relationship with my fiance, started affecting everything in my life. And then I guess running was some kind of blessing.
I'll grab one of these. So that was a bandit story. Oh, look at this. Down bad. You should actually try to take a photo. Australian runner aiming at 235.
235.
CJ, right?
Yes.
That's what you Christopher is also making content. This really cool bandit film that he dropped yesterday. Gonna drop that down below. So, are you ready for Monday?
We're ready. You got 252 in you?
252.
No, let's call it 250.
250.
250.
Yeah, let's do it.
Chris with 250, CJ with 235.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
And so Boston Marathon kind of turned into this much bigger thing than I thought it would be. At first it was just a project for fun, something that I could do to like challenge myself a little bit. And then I started realizing that it was much more than that. It started becoming this thing that fueled me in a very different way. Like it made me feel whole again. It made me feel more resilient. Like I felt like I was stronger within myself. I almost felt like when I was getting back on track, back when I first started going all in with speed skating. I guess I wasn't really aware of it in the beginning. Christine was more aware of it, and I remember her saying that it was a big change, that I changed a lot, but for me, I don't know.
It's kind of surreal. 2 years later.
What are we doing?
Expo. Picking up the bib. I mean, I got most of my stuff already, but first time marathoner at the Boston, so it's cool to get as much as possible, kind of. Quite a privileged life.
Yeah, so with their goal of 255, of course it was to then get into qualify for the Boston Marathon. And I don't think he had much of or probably no relationship before he started, but growing up, especially in Massachusetts, you know that the Boston Marathon is the most prestigious marathon and the hardest, if one of the hardest marathons in the world. And just kind of grew up knowing it. No, I had never gone and watched it myself. I knew lots of people who had, and I knew people who had run it before, parents of friends and things like that. But it's a huge accomplishment to qualify for. You do have to qualify to be able to run. So yeah, it's an impressive achievement to try and reach that goal. And to be able to say that you run it and get that medal for crossing that finish line in Boston.
Feeling the nerves already. Like as soon as we approach Boston, I'm just like. Oh, sorry.
Han var veldig viljesterk. Når han hadde bestemt seg for noen ting, så gjorde han det. Og skulle gjøre det. Vi kunne kanskje ha noen innvendinger om at kanskje gjør sånn eller sånn, men han hadde bestemt seg. Da ville han gjøre det på sin måte.
Så Christian, han har hatt en motgang som har gjort den så sterk at han bare skal få det til, altså. Og det viser jo denne reisen han har hatt til Boston Marathon også. Jeg skjønner ikke at det er mulig på så kort tid, da, som han kvalifiserte seg til den første maraton og sprang under 3 timer. Jeg vet ikke hvor mange måneder det var jo ikke mange måneder, ikke et halvt år engang, tror jeg, under det. Så bare begynner han å trene, og så springer han under 3 timer.
There was one person that made a comment to him a bit before his race in Narragansett, and it was kind of quite doubting him, really bluntly actually doubting his time and his ability, and that makes me really annoyed. How dare he say that to you? It's so rude, but it drives him, and I think gave him a little spark under the ass, to be honest, to really prove people wrong. And that's another kind of quality of his, is that if someone tells him he can't, you're gonna bet that he is going to prove you wrong. Yeah.
When people are doubting me, that is fuel on the fire. Like, it pisses me off because I'm like, you have no idea what I'm capable of, but at the same time, it fuels me. And so I'm grateful to those people who are doing it. So Stefan, a friend of mine, he told me before my first marathon that I don't believe that you are capable of doing a sub-3 marathon. And he was serious about it, like, I don't think you're gonna make it. And at the time it pissed me off. I remember coming home being like, I can't believe he said that. But then what I realized was that when I did a marathon in training, I was thinking about Stefan. I was thinking about telling him after, hey, I did a sub-3 marathon. This was like maybe a week after he told me. And so having those doubters has always been fuel on the fire for me, for good or bad. And in Stefan's case, I know that he actually said that and he told me after that, I think you needed to hear that. I know that triggers something within you. And whether or not he actually knew, but like it's true. And so for that comment, I'm grateful. But then you have doubters that have been doubters my whole life. Like, I feel like doubters have been there since day one, and I think all of us, we can say that. But for me, it was like teachers in elementary school. I didn't feel like they believed in me at all. And the bullies in elementary school, I just feel like all of them, they doubted me and told me straight out, you're not gonna be anything. And I'm not saying that the Boston Marathon makes me a somebody, but it's still, those comments like almost 30 years ago today still fuels me. They fuel me.
Thanks. You guys did very well. It's well organized. Everything was so smooth.
Been doing it for 129 years.
Yeah, right. That's true. Yeah.
You ain't got it right now, pal. You ain't got it.
That's probably true. It's great though. Good job.
Alrighty. Probably everything you need for Monday. There's pins, the sticker for the drop bag if you're going to use that, and the drop bag is in here.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Other than that, bring your legs.
I will. Thanks
Okay.
a lot.
Have a good run.
Thank you. Here we go. 46.99. Boston is officially started.
So Narragansett went incredibly well. We were so proud. Oh, it was, yeah. And it's still, I tell people his time, wow, like the shock, it's fun. But after that, he got injured and he kind of went backwards from not being able to train. And then, you know, how can he prepare? He had a year and a half, I think, until Boston. He didn't know if he was going to qualify or not with that time. There was high hopes, but then it was, as we got closer, it was like, oh my God, is it actually good enough time? Not letting him train really kind of put him into a mental spiral, which was really hard to see because I was like, finally, we found something for him to, one, excel at, but just have the passion again and the drive and the motivation to achieve goals that he set. And I don't think any of us that haven't come from professional sports can relate to that kind of mindset, but it finally had felt like he found his meaning again, and that was taken away. And of course, not by his choice, which makes it even harder.
Okay, we're good. We got everything. Now the expo.
I really wanted to do a sub 240 marathon in Boston. And then when a year later, was still not able to run normally and train, like work out the way I wanted to, I was like, well, maybe that's not realistic.
So the fall was approaching and we were getting closer and closer to when Christian could actually find out if he was going to qualify for the Boston. And he was really nervous. I think he thought about it all the time, which he tends to do.
Boston! I'm in! My dad is here. Christine is here.
It was, yeah, an amazing moment. It was so exciting. He was really, really happy. And of course, so was his dad and I, just absolutely thrilled that he made it. Only one marathon under his belt, and it was good enough to qualify. And not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people.
Ready?
There it is. My name.
Yeah. Because it's THM. So it's on the other side.
These guys are here with us. Todd, it's his birthday today, so we're gonna go have a dinner. So, lunch. So everything from here on and out is probably not marathon related. So.
Fast forward to January, I was like, how am I gonna get to Boston? And I was honestly like, with all the injuries and all the challenges and obstacles that I faced during that time, I was like, if I can get to Boston at all, that's crazy. Knees were hurting a little bit, hips were locked, calves were painful. Nothing was really looking good. And so for the last 3 months before the Boston Marathon, I averaged 47 kilometers per week, which is like 27, 28 miles, I guess. And I did not feel confident that that mileage would be good enough to definitely not give me a sub 240 Boston Marathon. Honestly, I didn't even feel like it was good enough for a sub 3.
I think one of the most common phrases I've heard in the last year and a half coming out of Christian's mouth is, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to race to Boston. Nope, I can't. My body's not performing. Nope, it's not going to work. No, every other day. Yeah, but that's, there's always something to worry about.
At det viste seg at han var kvalifisert for det, så var det ny glede, og så artig å se. Den her målbevisste gutten igjen som trener og virkelig går all in for å lykkes. Så var det noe litt sykdom og sånn før maraton, og da kommer mammahjertet inn igjen og får litt sånn panikk ved tanken på at det her ikke skal lykkes, og at den ikke skal få springe det her maratonet som jeg vet den drømmer så innmari om å få gjennomført.
We're doing nails today in the colors of Boston Strong.
I love the Boston Strong. Like, I guess that, I don't know if that was almost coined after the Boston Marathon bombing, but like at least I think that a lot of us will kind of think of the bombing when we hear Boston Strong. And Boston being so special to me, I'm almost not able to talk about Boston without crying for some reason. And I'm just talking about the city. And then I was like, I want to have these nails, and I want to be able to run past people, everyone in the crowd, like, and just do like this. And I did several times. I was like, Boston Strong. And yeah, it's if you're Norwegian, it looks like the Swedish flag, but I don't think anyone in Boston would think anything else than Boston Strong.
Magisk!
Hey!
Hallo!
And then on Saturday, my dad arrived. Having him there felt so good. Like, he came in just to see me run, and I could tell how excited he was. And there's something special about our relationship, and it has always been like that. And so having him there, yeah.
So I always kind of like to just do some activity after breakfast, get my body going, system going. It's an early morning. We're leaving here at 7:15, although the start is at 10. Weather looks great. It's so nice out there. No wind. Yesterday it was like stormy, so can't believe how lucky we are. Yeah. I'm feeling it. 2 years coming. 2 years of preparing for this. And we're here. April 21st, 2025.
Christian er en type som ikke er redd for å snakke om ambisjonene sine, visjonene og drømmene sine. De fleste holder jo tilbake på det. Christian, han snakket om sine visjoner, fantasier og drømmer til de fleste. Og Det gjorde at han fikk masse smeller, fordi at de fleste drømmene vi har oppnår vi jo ikke selv, så da får vi en liten smell inni oss selv. Men i tillegg så fortalte han jo det her til klassekompiser og det som er. Og dem da, når han da ikke... En ting er når han fortalte om det, så observerte jo jeg at de hadde tommelen ned, og hva du tror du er og sånn, og så oppnådde han ikke. Og så fikk han enda mer smekk på fingrene, og det gikk jo over til mobbing. Men Christian han er ikke en typen du bare knøvler, så om folk stod og hoppet på han, så bare reiser han seg igjen. Og det digger jeg, altså, at han bare har gønnet på, at han har torret å snakke om sine drømmer høyt. Det synes jeg er en kvalitet. Selvfølgelig tenkte jeg på noen gang at han kunne ha redusert det litt, for å la så stort press på seg selv mange ganger. Men det er en stor styrke. Og styrken i det var jo blant annet at jeg ble en del av det, Sigrun ble en del av det, mange ble en del av drømmene hans. Så når du deler drømmer, så får du folk på laget, og du skaper et eierskap også hos dem. Så det oppnådde han. Men selvfølgelig, du må fortelle drømmene dine til dem du har tillit til, og du stoler på. Og Christian fortalte ikke bare til dem, han fortalte til alle. Og han har bare stått på det. Og derfor så er det så stort at han har kommet til sitt OL som han gjorde med Boston Marathon.
Karoline!
Yay! Affe! Hallo! Hei, hei!
Ja.
Er det bil?
Yes. On our way.
Yeah!
I promised my mom that I would call her on the way to the start. And so I called her up, we had a chat. In the first minute or something, it was really nice, and we just chatted. I showed her that the weather was super nice, all of that. And then I pretty quickly zoned out, and I felt like, okay, now I'm not able to really focus on this conversation with my mom. So we finished that conversation, she wished me luck, and that was nice. And then I got a text message from Emily, Christine's sister, that really just made me cry, like saying that she was very proud of me. And I don't know, there's something about that, like it felt like more of an achievement coming from her for some reason. I don't know, like everything that she says for some reason means a lot, like more than a lot of people. Yeah, no, and then like trying to focus, trying to keep the nerves under control.
What did you do this morning?
This morning, I got up at 5:20. My alarm was at 5:30. And then I got anxious about the porta potty situation, so I had to watch yet another video on that. And then I had breakfast, 2 slices of bread with honey, very good honey, Lee, and
From the local Littleton Bees.
yes,
$38 worth.
yeah, and then I went out for a little run and some content creation, because it's a one-man band before 7 a.m.
It's about 30 minutes from Littleton down to Hopkinton. Christian was really, really nervous for good reason. And he said that I haven't been this nervous since speed skating, and it's a big deal, and it is a big deal. And his dad had done a bit of research himself before, just as on his way over, be like, oh, like Boston is the most prestigious marathon. It's the oldest marathon. There's just so much about it that you kind of realize, like, okay, yes, this is a big deal. And of course, his dad was proud before knowing any of that, but it just kind of set a whole new ground for what Christian was actually about to achieve.
10 minutes away from the parking lot where the shuttle buses will take me to Athletes Village, where I'm gonna hang out with just about 30,000 people. It's like back to speed skating. I've not been this nervous about a competition since I was skating.
Look at this, is 2
Yes, it is too easy. So you will document, get the Christian
the next bus?
Yeah.
the bus? Oh, I have a lot of time now, so there's no rush with anything.
We're all just so excited and so proud that this was finally happening, and we were there. And
We go. Carolina's ready. Johan?
It's gonna be great.
Family?
Christian? Don't trip on your shoe.
I'll try not to.
Mom being a mom till she dies.
And then, I mean, it was kind of like dropping him off for school for the first, bye, like, good luck. We're not going to see you for 3 hours, 4 hours. What time was it? It was quite early. There was no contact for us with him past this point. Yeah, we said our goodbyes, and he got on the bus, and we got back in the 2 cars and drove to my aunt and uncle's in Jamaica Plain, which is in Boston.
The nerves were not negative, they were positive, like very confident. I felt really good about that race. I thought that I could really perform. Although the preparations were what they were, I got out of that car in Hopkinton with a lot of confidence.
There is such an energy on this day that is felt here in Boston and beyond. This is a special race. It's a unique race. There's nothing like it. The spectators, the runners, the whole city comes alive. It's amazing.
Like I was like, I'm part of this. This is cool. Right now, in this very moment, I'm here on the bus on my way to the start of one of the biggest marathons or most prestigious marathons in the world, and I'm able to enjoy it without having to document, having to take photos, like all the things that I would normally do. And that was actually very nice.
The champion is not in that group, right? But everybody there has a bib, and they get the experience to run the great Boston Marathon.
Yeah, I mean, it is a wonderful marathon. It's a wonderful atmosphere, and I think everybody just is so jazzed up. It gets them through their winter.
Yeah, every few moments I'd be like, look at my clock, oh my God, like, we're getting so close, or like, oh my God, he's left. And I think my mom came running in. He started, it's 10 o'clock.
Han har en snitt på 6,21 nå. I miles, og det er 6,27 er 2,49. Så jeg ligger foran 2,49. Det er fantastisk. Det er sjukt. Helt bra. På 2,50 så er det 40,10. Å oppleve atmosfæren i Boston både før og etter å være der, det var så spesielt. Å oppleve Christian springe Boston maraton. Og så sier det til meg at pappa, det her er mitt OL. Ja, det var en opplevelse.
You know, like the last 400 meters, you don't really think that much. Then it's more like, I'm not sure if my body will handle this. I remember thinking that if my heart stops now, it's almost worth it, because I'm loving this moment, even though I'm hating it, because it's so painful. Honestly, like it was in the middle of the race, I guess, when I started feeling like I'm tired, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to finish. Then all of the thoughts of everything that I've struggled with throughout my life, and all of the things that have been challenging, all of the things like that Christian 5 years old, 10 years old, 16 years old, like all of those versions of myself. I was just thinking that this moment is for that. All the adversity that I've faced throughout my whole life, I felt like I was able to actually use for something really positive to push myself. But then on that Monday, just felt like everything that I had in me was like, I don't know, everything that I've faced throughout my life just, how do you say, like, came together as a positive thing, or like pushed me and motivated me in that race. Everything that I've experienced so far in my life has just like led me to this moment. And I was just so happy to finish, so happy to do so well. I was just one big smile. Approaching the Bandit store, I was just crying, sobbing. Everything just, you know, Boston, that city means a lot to me. This race apparently means so much more to me than I thought.
Welcome, guys. So we met him at the Bandit shop where he was going to get his photo with his medal and stuff. And just, yeah, it was such a proud moment for all of us to see him there with his medal, and yeah, so special that he achieved his dream and his goal. And even though it wasn't maybe a dream, a lifelong dream, but it's been a dream for the last 2 years and yeah, nothing can take away from achieving those dreams.
And then seeing my fiance and seeing my brother, my mother-in-law, I guess not in-law yet, but, and my brother, his girlfriend.
Jeg synes det var så stort på at han deltok, at han greide å komme seg til mål I tillegg. Og så sprenger han på en tid som jeg visste at han var veldig, veldig fornøyd med. Og da, det er så mye følelser inni meg. Så når jeg da møter Christian inn på denne butikken og ser de blanke øynene til han når han tar omkring meg, ja, det var en far- og sønn-opplevelse. Spesielt. Forglemmelig.
My father, like my dad, and then like, yeah, that hug, that is, yeah, I couldn't keep my tears back, like hold my tears back.
What did it mean for you to have your dad watch you?
Having my dad there for the marathon, that was really special. I felt like it was, so we started this project with skating like years ago, and I never felt like we were able to kind of finish it off. And so when I qualified for Boston, I kind of felt like I really wanted him to be there. And I remember telling him that I never made it to the Olympics, but this was my Olympics. And so yeah, I asked him to be there. He obviously said yes. I think mostly in the like initially just because I said I really wanted to, and then I think he learned eventually how much it meant to me, how big of a deal it was with Boston, and so it felt like it was the end of something, but at the same time the beginning of something. So yeah, that was special. And I think also seeing how proud he was and seeing how much it meant to him to be there. Now, that was really special. It meant a lot.
Fantastisk å sitte hjemme og her I Norge og se at han kom I mål på en god tid og lyktes med drømmen sin. Se at den stråler.
Look at that. Boston baby.
You came to running pretty late. Ish. What do you feel like it means to you and your life?
It's such a weird thing to say, like, that running is almost everything, but in terms of my happiness and my well-being, I would say that right now it feels like it's everything, because it's what makes me feel obviously happy, but also it's like I have goals. All of a sudden I have something that just really keeps me busy, keeps my thoughts on something that is very healthy, and I feel very much at home. And I feel like running now is just another, it's what speed skating used to be, but what is different from speed skating is that I have this tremendous confidence when I'm on a start, or like when I'm working out or I'm training. I don't see where this can stop.
Spending his whole life and career skating and not achieving what he perceived as the dream then, that's really hard, and it was really hard to move away from that. But now he has found something that he can be really proud of, and so many people can relate to running and the goals that come with running, that he's kind of refound his love for sports and what kind of drives him in life, which is performing and being athletic and pushing his body to what the limits it can go.
And I'm sure some people would say, hey, dude, you only did 2:53. Like, you were number 2,800 in Boston Marathon. And it's like, yes, I know that's not a huge accomplishment, but I still feel like it's the beginning of something, and it just motivates me a lot. So, and I guess that's why I really kind of want to make running in one way or another my living.
I hope it continues. I hope that he can keep running, and I'll be there for all of them, hopefully, if I can. But I'm along for this ride and supporting it 100%.
Så håper jeg det inderlig at han I dag og fremover tenker at det var verdt det alt sammen.